American English, American English. Teach and learn American English.
Hi, and welcome to Teaching Tips from American English. These short professional development videos share current practical knowledge and classroom ideas for EFL teachers around the globe. In this teaching tip topic, Hanna will examine 3 commonly used co-teaching models, some benefits of using them, and how to effectively use co-teaching models in your English language classroom. Welcome, Amy.
Thanks for the introduction, Amy. I'm excited to be presenting 3 common co-teaching models to you today. So let's get started. Take a look at our goals for the day. Feel free to pause the video here if you'd like to read them carefully. Let's begin by defining co-teaching. Co-teaching is when 2 or more professionals collaborate to deliver instruction to a shared group of students in a common space. So co-teachers are both accountable and both plan and deliver instruction to a shared group of students. This can be done in many different ways and with more than 2 teachers. But for today's presentation, we're going to focus on co-teaching models involving 2 educators. Successful co-teaching relationships require certain elements to be effective and fulfilling. Here are some important ones. Today we'll focus on 3 commonly used models of co-teaching. To illustrate the models, I will use the 2 co-teachers shown here. Keep in mind that Teacher 1 and Teacher 2 are just labels, and either teacher could fulfill either role shown in the models. They can change positions and move back and forth between roles as needed. In fact, this is encouraged so that they play an equal role in the eyes of their students. And for our purposes, we'll pretend these 2 co-teachers share 40 students, represented by these blue circles, and that they're presenting a unit with the theme of protecting the environment. Our first model is team teaching. As you can see here, both teachers share responsibility for delivering the lesson and managing the students in this arrangement. So in our visual representation of team teaching, both Teacher 1 and Teacher 2 are in front of the students giving the lesson. This takes some practice and effort, but it can be fun and effective when done well. One example used for team teaching from a live context is a science experiment. As part of the unit on protecting the environment, these teachers want to do an experiment to show the effects of oil spills on marine life. Students will be working to try to remove oil from feathers to show how devastating oil can be to birds. This would be a perfect opportunity for Teacher 1 to verbally present the steps in the experiment, while Teacher 2 models the actions the students will need to take. When do you think you could use team teaching? Take a look at some ideas for times when team teaching might be a good option in your class. And moving on to the parallel teaching model. In this arrangement, the class is split in half and both teachers present the same content. So each teacher is giving the same lesson, but to only half of the students in the class. The teachers are not teaching together, but they are teaching the same content. So in our visual representation, we see our students equally divided amongst the 2 co-teachers. Let's take a look at how this could work in a live context. Thinking about our theme of protecting the environment, these 2 co-teachers split the class in half and give a lesson on reusing everyday objects to reduce waste. They give students different items that would normally be trash and ask them to brainstorm ways to reuse them. With each teacher managing only half of the students, it would ensure that everyone had ample time to share their ideas, whereas keeping the whole class together might not. When do you think you could use parallel teaching? Here are some ideas for times when parallel teaching might be a good choice for instruction. Now for the final model we'll discuss today, station teaching. This model requires that different learning stations are set up in the classroom. So here we have S1 for Station 1, S2 for Station 2, and so on. In this model, each co-teacher will essentially become a station. We would have each co-teacher in their own station presenting one part of the content. So there are 2 teacher-led stations, and then the other activities are things that students can do independently. An important step in the station teaching model is to divide the students into equal groups. So in our situation, we have 40 students, and since we have 4 stations, we'll divide them into 4 groups of 10. So let's look at a specific example. If we think back to our unit on protecting the environment, we could have 4 stations related to the topic of how to protect the environment by recycling. At Station 1, students have to sort recyclable and non-recyclable items. This is an independent station. In Station 2, Teacher 1 leads a short lesson on the current laws about recycling. In Station 3, students have to create a poster with their group that tells the benefits of recycling. This is another independent station. In Station 4, students work with Teacher 2 to learn about the penalties for not following laws about recycling. So remember that in this example, our class is in 4 groups of 10 students. In this arrangement, the groups will rotate so that they visit all 4 of the stations during one class period. This requires co-teachers to plan how much time each group will spend at each station in order to be sure that all students complete the rotation within the class period. So let's talk about some more ideas for station teaching. We saw before that the 2 teachers should deliver lessons that cover part of the content, but we know that some of the stations will require students to work independently. Here's a list of some sample activities you could use for your independent stations. Independent stations require some training to get students familiar with the activities and procedures, but they can be a really great tool if co-teachers are willing to invest the time. When do you think you could use station teaching? Check out these ideas. Now let's discuss some of the benefits of co-teaching for both teachers and students. Co-teaching can help educators learn from their colleagues because they have many chances to observe each other. They can learn new ways of teaching and managing the classroom. Next, working with another educator who might have a different teaching style, experience, or ideas encourages creativity in lesson planning. And having a co-teacher who shares responsibility for managing behavior and helping students learn can make teachers feel more supported and less isolated than simply working alone. And now on to the benefits for students. Co-teaching can offer students a chance to receive more personal attention and differentiated instruction than they might get in a classroom with just one teacher. It also allows students to try new things because of the different perspectives both teachers offer when planning lessons. Summing up, today we talked about what co-teachers need to have a successful relationship, 3 popular co-teaching models and the potential benefits and drawbacks of each one, and finally the benefits of co-teaching for both teachers and students. Thank you for watching this presentation. I hope that you learned something new about co-teaching and have some ideas for how you can get started yourself. Good luck, and thanks again for your time and attention.
To check out other great teaching tip videos, be sure to subscribe to our American English YouTube channel. You can find resources for teachers on the American English website by clicking on the link listed here, and if you haven't already, be sure to like us on the American English for Educators Facebook page.